Welcome back to NATEFLIX, your home for movies on the radio. Just a reminder, you can learn more about Go Video, the store. You can learn more about our show. You can learn more about all the movies we're talking about today at govideogainesville.com. You can also interact with the show, send us questions at NATEFLIX at Twitter. And also you can find us on Facebook, NATEFLIX or Go Video on Facebook. Now, for years, the salaries of actors and actresses have been news. It's reported in Hollywood newspapers what different actors make for different movies, and it's always sensational that some actors are paid such ridiculous amounts. Jim Carrey was one of the first actors to be able to demand $20 million a film, and it was huge news at the time. Now that's not so much huge news. A lot of actors make insane amounts of money. Are these actors worth it in every case? Forbes magazine sought to answer this question. They took an aggregate of the budgets for these big budget Hollywood blockbusters over the course of several years. They compared this to the stars of these films and how much they were made. By dividing this, they were able to determine for every dollar spent on this actor, it brought in X number of dollars in the box office. And by using this system, they were able to determine which actors were the most overpaid. What is the return on investment here for the movie studios for each of these actors? Now, starting out the list, and this isn't the top of the list, this is the bottom. For every dollar spent on these two actors, these actors' films brought in $5 at the box office. Not really that bad of a return on an investment until you factor in advertising and the rest of the budget for the movie. These two actors, Vince Vaughn and Adam Sandler. Obviously, two incredibly well-received actors that have hit film after hit film after hit film, and yet they're near the bottom of this list. A lot more actors are selling more tickets for a lot less money. Now, it's a much smaller surprise that on number 6 on this list is Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, the quality of his films is very hit or miss, and the success of his films is also very hit or miss. For every good film that he has 2 or 3 Wicker Men or Drive Angry. A big surprise for me at number 5 was Denzel Washington. For every dollar that Denzel has paid, his movie brings in $4. Ranking just above Denzel Washington, Reese Witherspoon, Oscar-winning actress, star of many ridiculously high-grossing films. Now, she's no longer, it seems to be worth the price tag. You pay her $1, she's going to bring in $3.50. Similarly, Will Ferrell, who ranks 2 cents above her. One of the former biggest box office draws ever, now not really worth as much money as he's being paid.
That's surprising.
Yeah, Will Ferrell, he's huge. And maybe not quite as surprising. Eddie Murphy used to be one of the biggest draws of all time. It's been a while. Recently, Eddie Murphy's only films are the Shrek movies. But the Shrek movies are making hundreds of millions of dollars each. So if he is one of the most overpaid actors, for every dollar he is paid, his movie brings in $2.70. He must be getting a staggering amount of money to play donkey in these movies.
It's kind of weird how the system has turned into. You get these actors who go from nothing. You talk Will Ferrell, he goes from Saturday Night Live to jumping in Old School and Anchorman, and then all of a sudden he's starring in one film after another, and his characters are being overdone over and over again. But once they reach that level where they're on the top, they stay there. Regardless of how bored people get with the character. Adam Sandler's another good example. His name, at the lead or the center of any film would just automatically bring in tons of people because they just know he's going to be funny. Now, even though his last couple films have just not been satisfying the way that they used to be, he still has the power of his name. So and how much do they know about how bad their movies do? They can just go to it, pick up a different script if they're not getting paid enough.
Well, actors' names aren't really about quality anymore. It's more about a brand. They try to build a business behind the name, unfortunately, and that's what happens is people buy movies and go see movies because of a name and not because of quality, and it catches up to them.
Exactly.
I also think a quick fix for Mr. Washington and for who was the
Nicolas Cage?
No, for Denzel Washington and Eddie Murphy. If they would get with Tyler Perry, I'm sure that their earnings would go up.
Their earnings would skyrocket. So Eddie Murphy was number 2 on the list at $2.70. Now, the number 1 name on the list was the only name on the list that was under $1. For every dollar this actress was paid, her movie brought in 40 cents. So Drew Barrymore has become obviously she's listed as the most overpaid. I don't know how much she's paid, but it's almost a guarantee if she is in your movie is going to lose money. Drew Barrymore is going to make more money getting paid to act in it than people will spend on seeing it.
I'm not surprised that almost everyone on the list is someone who is known for making quality movies a long time ago and have been in the business for a long time. Drew Barrymore, she made her debut, I believe, in E.T. when she was just a kid. She's been in the business for a long time. She has to have developed that ego where, if I'm not getting paid anything less than this, then there's no reason to do the movie. I'll just find something else. And, in a way, that mentality may be hurting the films that they're in. If they're only willing to take up scripts where they get paid large amounts of money, then nobody's really looking at the art anymore.
Drew Barrymore, it should be noted, usually serves as an executive producer on whatever movies she's in, either because it's from her film company or she just demands it. As an executive producer, she could demand a lot more salary than if she's just the actress. What I find interesting about her being on the list at all is, now, these numbers were taken from the last few years. It wasn't just from this year. It was from, an aggregate over the last few years. I can't remember Drew Barrymore's last big hit. I also can't remember her last big flop. I don't see Drew Barrymore very much at all in movies.
I blame Tom Green. I think an interesting point for what you just said is Adam Sandler owns Happy Madison Productions. I find it odd that he doesn't make that much money, seeing that most of his movies that he makes are from his own company.
Well,
I think Adam Sandler probably makes more money than she does. His films also bring in a lot more money. So although he's on this list, he's a much better return on investment, even if he is overpaid. And Drew Barrymore, I guess, yes, she will now be known as the black hole of movie budgets.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of great movies from her in the future unless she's willing to lower her salary, as goes, some of the other people on the list.
All right, well, that wraps up this segment. We will be back in just 1 minute where we're going to each pick a great movie that you can watch with your family this Thanksgiving vacation. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Rusty Cage, though I'm sometimes known as Ben Steele, Steve Buscemi, Philip Traum, or Edward. Over the past few months, I have been writing and recording a series of original songs, and today, I make these songs available to you. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present my first musical installment, Rusty Cage Volume 1, Blues, Gospels, and What Have Yous. This 7-track EP includes songs that explore themes such as social interactions, contemplations of science and religion, lost loves and sorrow, and with just a few clicks, you could have your own copy. Using the help of Bandcamp and iTunes, physical and digital copies of this EP can now be purchased over the interweb. You can order a $5 digital copy of Rusty Cage Volume 1, or for an additional $1, you can get the actual physical copy delivered to your door. That's right, for the price of a 6-pack of piss beer or a box of smokes, you could have your very own copy of Blues, Gospels, and What Have Yous. But I must warn you, these songs do contain foul language, adult content, and sacrilegious lyrics that are not intended for children or the easily offended. All in all, I hope you'll grab a copy of my EP, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
So I can die easy. Well,